make this little edge a Y branch for my fire pit. I can put a stick in there and lower and raise my coffee. But I'll put a sharp edge on this so I can drive it into the ground. I'm not very good with my left hand, but I'm trying to use it more. I can swing my left arm, it's just hard to get a right angle. Like that. Switch back over here. Now, we can sit there and drive that bad boy into the ground. But first, actually, let's do it but second, just to prove a point. Drive this side down. And that big old log axe. Log axe was getting wedged in between there, so I used my felling axe. See the size difference there. Right tool always helps. Still pretty wiggly. I don't want any wiggles. Perfect. It's cool, it's really hot in that Y from the friction, the heat, every time I'm hitting it with the back of my axe. Be careful not to hit it too hard because you don't want to break your Y. I like to use good sturdy wood. I gotta remember, I gotta give a talk up in St. Pete later. I might have to shower. Dirty toes. Alright, I got that side. A couple more whacks since I just wiggled it. And now, on my other side, I'm using a little bit smaller one. You want to know why that Y is bigger than this Y? Because this is what I had laying around in the yard and I didn't feel like going out getting wood. But a lot of times when I think of a project, I know I'll be looking for that wood. So this piece actually, I'm gonna go ahead and use this Y and cut this off for a stake. Reason why, all these Ys, is because I kind of like this extra Y. I can cut that off, have it the same height, and imagine I'm taking my coffee off, right? I don't want to set it on the ground because I'm an old man with a bad back. Well, I can take my kettle and put the ring of the kettle right around there, and it'll just sit there and hang for me. So I mean, shit. Plus, it's on that side to where like it'll literally stay warm by the heat of the fire. So that's what I'm gonna do on this one. I do, well, I could just cut it with the hatchet. I'm all about using the right tools, you know, so I'm gonna end up just cutting this with a hatchet, but I've got a saw in the truck. It's a little hand saw, but this will do the trick. I'd have to like end the video. Man, that's some hard wood. Yeah, I still got a good edge. I didn't know if I need to sharpen my axe. That is some tough wood there. Clean that up a little bit to where it's, yeah, kind of got one side a little longer. Take a good whack at it here. You want to be a good aim with these things if you're using the wrong tool. Like me, I should probably be using a saw on this, but I also trust my aim enough to know I can pull it off without one. There we go. It's not too darn bad with a hatchet. But a lot of people don't use a hatchet that well. It just takes practice. Not trying to boast, I've just done it my whole life, you know what I mean? If you're just getting started, ain't no thing. But yeah, that'd be a great time to whip out your little handsaw just so you can get a nice straighter edge. But hell, I mean, you couldn't have done better than that with a chainsaw, really. Now, let's sharpen up this other side. Keep in mind though, if I have it this high and the bottom of my Y is down here, like that's how much space is between it. So that means I'll have to drive this thing into the ground that far. But I'm gonna take a little bit off. But I don't mind that. This is a lot smaller stick, So I think it's actually going to do better by driving it further in the ground because it'll stay anchored a lot easier. You know, so those are just like little decisions that you're sitting there making as you're thinking about this stuff. Tell you one thing, aging is something that like you have to compensate with. Like, I'll tell you the real reason like why I was trying to use my left hand is I've got really bad arthritis, and sometimes I feel like I barely hold that hatchet, you know. But that also means I can just walk up to the camera and bullshit a little bit like while I give my hand a break. But that's actually what I'm doing right now. My hand physically hurts, you know, so remember, keep it safe. My hand hurts, and because of that, I'm more likely to make a mistake. So, you know, think about it like that too. Take some breaks, stay safe. You don't want to be dumb with this stuff. I did just realize I was making this video for YouTube, and instead of holding the camera this way, I've got it set up like this on the tripod. Just having a little fun in the backyard. Starting to get there. Now, when it gets to this point, I like to hang it over. You don't want to drive that axe into the ground, but I like to hang it over. That way I'm not breaking the wood, but shaving it off at this very last point. So I'll just put it on the wood as like a pivot source, and then just sit there and kind of, you know, use my leg, whatever I need to, knock off the rest. If your hands are hurting a lot or you're not strong enough, choke up. There ain't nothing wrong with sitting there and holding an axe just like this. Want to call me a wuss, that's fine, I'm being safe. You know, because look how much more control I have doing it like that. Yeah. And now I'm going to do the same thing, but I won't take up the rest of you guys' day while I'm doing it. So I see I'm already up to 15 minutes. Peace, homies.